Hello everyone, welcome back to 51 GT3 Racing Academy. In the previous episode, we talked about how to correct understeer. The opposite characteristic of understeer is called oversteer. So today, we will introduce oversteer and some methods to correct it. Oversteer is a situation in which the rear end of the car gets thrown to the outside of the turn, while the front end turns excessively towards the inside of the corner. This situation is also known as drifting. In this case, the rear tires of the car start to slip due to the lack of grip, while the front tires still have enough grip. The tire grip is uneven front and rear. Due to the centrifugal effect, the body needs a lateral grip to support the car's turn when cornering. This lateral grip is transferred to the body of the vehicle through the lateral grip of the tires as the racer turns the steering wheel. However, according to the traction circle theory, we learned that every racing car has a limited rear tire grip. Once the lateral grip of the rear tires is unable to overcome the centrifugal force needed for cornering, the car will oversteer. Failure to correct oversteer in time may lead to the following consequences. 1. The car drifts toward the inside of the track and ends up spinning. 2. With a rotating rear end, the car is forced to slip off the track. To correct oversteer, we must make sure that the required grip of the rear tires is controlled within the traction circle to balance out the centrifugal force when the car is cornering. Here are a few methods to correct oversteer. Method 1 is to start decelerating before entering the corner. The faster the car enters the corner, the greater the inertia, and the greater centrifugal force the car needs to overcome to corner. At the same time, the lateral grip required by the rear tires becomes greater and the centrifugal force required cannot be overcome, resulting in oversteer. Therefore, we should start braking ahead of time, extend the full braking phase and enter the corner at a lower speed, allowing the required grip of the rear tires to overcome the centrifugal force. So then we can avoid understeer. Method 2 is to smoothly release the brakes and countersteer during the corner entry phase. If you try to steer and trail brake aggressively, the weight of the car will be transferred to the front part and rear tire pressure will be reduced, resulting in a lack of rear tire grip and the car drifting. What we want to do is release the brakes gradually and countersteer to control the weight transfer as soon as we detect any sign of oversteer. In this case, the pressure on the rear tires will not be lifted drastically, securing enough grip on the rear tires to avoid oversteer. Method 3 is to release the throttle steadily and countersteer during the corner exit phase. One of the situations that lead to oversteer at the corner exit phase is that accelerating aggressively can result in an overly high RPM on the rear tires, which can eventually break the grip limit, causing the rear tires to slip and the car to drift. To correct oversteer in this situation, the best approach is to release the throttle steadily and countersteer at the same time. We can continue to increase throttle input slowly when we know the car is safe on track. This lowers the RPM of the rear tires and reduces slipping from excessive rear tire power, thereby saving the car. Here is a tip for front-wheel drive car. If you drive a front-wheel drive car that carries most of the car's weight in the front, you do need to handle the situation differently than a rear-wheel drive one. The reason for oversteer in front-wheel drive cars is that the rear wheels break traction and slip due to the lack of weight at the rear of the car. When this happens, adding opposite locks, releasing the throttle, and observing the car's dynamic changes are always our priorities. However, if we still fail to correct oversteer after taking all of the actions above, then we can just keep on countersteering as well as steadily increasing throttle input. While controlling the weight transfer and restoring the grip of the rear wheels, the front drive wheels can apply forward force to overcome the inertia from the car drifting and save the car from oversteering. That's all for today's episode. If you want to learn more about the technology of racing cars, let us know in the comments section. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.